All right, let's get into this. Put this down a little bit. I think I'm going to break it down to divine masculine, divine feminine. And as I do that, I want to remind you that, you know, you can be female and certainly be in divine masculine energy. You know, look at it more as, and I do feel it can change. I'm going to put that there. That's going to be for the divine, let's say masculine. But if this reading is for you, you'll just know where you're at in this. Look at that, I got 2 each. Perfect. I have the Fool, and I have the 5 of Swords. I have the Chariot, beautiful, card of Cancer, and the 9 of Pentacles. Well, first thing I feel here is the energy. I did split these up, so I'm doing divine masculine, divine feminine. I feel like they're going to intertwine somewhere in here. I like the energy I'm feeling on the divine feminine side, especially with the Chariot here. Yeah, this is the balance. This is the balance of yin and yang, the true balance. This is willpower. The Chariot to me is about willpower. It is the energy of wanting to be in balance. We have the Chariot connected to the 9 of Pentacles. Many different messages with the 9 of Pentacles, but the one thing that's standing out to me is it is a card of independence. Independence. And I do feel here, you know, I can be independent within a relationship, but I feel here what this is talking about is actually moving from being completely dependent on myself, you know, the independent nature. But I feel like this is, you know, this is more about, again, I'm moving from independent energy into the energy of partnership. So we have that movement on the feminine side. We have also the energy of feminine definitely going through the steps, going through the learning process, purging. And I feel like the masculine is really at that point. So it feels like the masculine's a little behind, though not really behind, right where they're meant to be, so to speak. But the energy, you know, it's the awakened feminine is what it is. Masculine, with the Fool here, this tells me that they are coming to full realization. F-U-L-L. They are, they're feeling the energy within them right now, the stirring. And I do know, you know, it's kind of like a sliding scale. Some of them further along. Same with the feminine. Some are going to be further along. But within a reading like this, we're looking at, you know, because we have, you know, let's just say 30,000 people view this video. So this has to be open, right? Open so that the collective can fit within this energy. I hope that makes sense. Anyways, I feel like the male right now, again, it's like feeling their way. I feel, and I'm saying the male, the masculine. Let me clarify that. It is the awareness of, for some of them, their part within a prior relationship. I'm not really feeling energy of right this moment of people being together. So I feel like I'm reading more for people who have not made, you could have been together in the past, but right now I feel like I'm reading more for people who don't have that physical connection yet. So the masculine is feeling, being almost like being made to feel, okay, being made aware of their 3D actions, their, I don't want to say lower energy, though some of it is a lower energy. It's like a pull, right? Because it's like the energy of the universe wants to lift everyone's vibration up, really getting strong now, requiring people to lift up their vibration. But with help, definitely with help. So the masculine is being forced, I don't know if I like the word forced, to see their ways. That's the bottom line, to see their ways. And I feel like, it's weird because I feel like what's going to happen for some of them, it's like they have to see the negative influences within themselves. And it's like weeding that out, which I feel like a great amount are finishing up with this part of it. And then it feels like it's going to roll in into feeling like, well, the vibration's raising. So how do I explain it? The vibration, the energy is all about coming together with purpose. Certain steps have to be taken because we're moving into unconditional love. Unconditional love is easier said than done. This isn't just the word unconditional love. This is the actual meaning. This is like moving into unconditional love. So, and I feel like, again, feminine has already been through this. It's like somebody holding that mirror up, and you don't have a choice. You cannot run away. You have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with it, but if you don't, you stay almost like pushed down. But having control over that. So, okay. So let's go back to the masculine for a second, because I do feel like many of them have gone through that process, that, having to take a hard look at themselves, and with great purpose. And then moving again into a time period where then their heart's expanding so they can see, it's like almost seeing that they are made of unconditional love. They're being prepared. And again, I feel a range of where different people sit along this part of the journey. Everyone's ending up in the same place. And sometimes that's what we got to hang our hat on. Okay, let's keep going. Let's start with masculine again. I also feel if there's masculine still in a karmic relationship, I do feel that, listen, there's, in a karmic relationship, it feels like there's some major lessons they're learning through this karmic. And that's hard. It's hard because here you love this person, they're with someone else. And it's hard to accept the fact that, yes, they're meant to go through it because there is a lesson here. There is a major lesson for them that you do benefit from in the end. But I get it. That doesn't make it easy, but I kind of feel like this is about releasing the control of really everything. And just, truly releasing the control of it, trusting within it. understanding that when things come to the point they're meant to, you won't be looking back at this any longer. You won't be feeling like this any longer. It's like a switch. You'll be having pure glory. So believe in it now. You know, if you truly, truly, truly feel that you have met your twin, then try to believe in the whole process of it. I can tell you, if you truly met your twin, and if it is divine design that you two are meant to be together, you will be together. Okay, let's see, what do we got now? We have the Prince of Pentacles, and we have the Princess of Swords. So, you know, Prince of Pentacles absolutely feels like a learning experience, right? I'm expanding. Expanding within spiritual knowledge. Excuse me, one second. Okay. I just had a knock on the door, sorry. Anyways, it's like the masculine, you know, it's kind of like being in school, going through high school and graduating different levels. 10th grade, the 11th grade, and then 12th grade is the coming together, the degree. Also, this is a bad energy of needing to separate themselves from certain energies, certain people, certain lifestyles. It is about clearing up their energy source. This process, they're in this process. This is the process, and for some of them, it feels like, you know, they're taking the steps. But what I like here that I haven't really seen in a lot of the readings is the clarity behind it. Why am I being guided to go this way? Why am I being guided to push certain people out of my life? Why? They're asking the questions. Why? And I like that. It means their mind is expanding to the process. It is like I have someone who is going from soup to nuts. You know, like I've never even heard of what a twin flame is, and I have to learn. Denial. Denial for some because it's scary. Because there's a little fear behind that. Honestly. Like denial because what the hell does that mean? What do you mean when you say twin flame? What does that mean? So trying to figure out in their own heads. But what I really love here is many have searched out the answers. And listen, you don't actively try to learn something unless you want to. But they had to do it on their own. Again, one of those things where we can't step in. They can't step in for us, right? It has to be done on a one-to-one basis. Okay. And, you know, just having the princess here, I feel like this is about truly, I don't know, it's like we're about to hit graduation. You know, we're about to hit graduation. Okay, let's go to the feminine. I really like the feeling I have here. Because I'm not feeling resistance, not towards the feminine. If there is any resistance on the masculine, it is more about the immediate people around them. For some, it is about karmic. And I do feel like for some, they're in the planning process of leaving the karmic, whether it's still like in their mind, like kind of like writing. I don't know. I feel like someone is like writing step by step. But this is where they're at mentally. So it's like if there's still that connection, there is the movement away. Again, the importance of that karmic, both for male and or the masculine and feminine, by the way. Because again, it's like I feel like the masculine is following the feminine, though it's like they're not aware of it. Now, this, of course, is not all twin flames. And I am reading right now for people who are not together. I feel that pretty clearly. All right, let's keep going here. I'm definitely feeling the energy of the feminine energy. I feel like I'm moving a little forward in the future here, but I feel like the feminine energy is also part of, it is like the feminine energy in some way is going to be teaching the masculine. Now, the surface things, the surface energy, they need to clear that, understand it on their own. I feel like after that point, and it doesn't, I don't feel like I'm teaching someone else about what a twin flame means. No, this is something more than that. In one way, it's the feminine teaching the masculine how to work with this energy. Let's get a little clearer on that. I got the Queen of Swords. I know I haven't given any signs, but I kind of don't want to, just because, this is an intuitive read again, and I just don't feel like signs are required. Like, you know if this is your energy. You feel it. And I like how my readings always give you a little bit of past energy, just so you can either connect to that or you don't. You know what I mean? Okay. Anyway, let's keep going. So I will give the sign for Queen of Swords since I'm talking about signs. So that would be an air sign. But see, it doesn't have to be, and that's the thing. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, but it does not have to be. And I know for some it's just not. So I'm not going to give any more signs. Not in this reading. Okay. Alright, let's keep going. Queen of Swords. What I do love is the feminine's got some beautiful energy surrounding her at this point. Clarity. I feel like I need to say, don't overthink this. Don't overthink this. Don't allow all the 3D energy to mix, because I feel like this should be simple, but there's so much. Maybe we're trying to control too much, right? But yet we don't really have that control. If the message to me feels like this needs to be simplified in our mind and in our hearts. I'm just glancing back over the masculine's cards, and it's like their seed of intention. That seed pod, right? That is really always there. And it's like that seed of intention of the twin flame energy. It's like the universe is coming out, handing it to the masculine. making the masculine aware of that seed of attention. Wow. Wow. I'm wondering for some of them, this might be in the form of like past life regression. It doesn't even have to be a past life. This is not about the life that they're living, anything like that. This is about becoming aware of a seed of intention planted from day one, I would imagine. Universe is allowing them to be aware. Wow, it is like the universe is truly expanding the masculine's mind. Okay, very interesting. And I just want to throw out there too. I already know this. I know this just from doing so many readings. I know this from my guides. I just know this. It's that I know what I know. Even if I don't know how I know it. That's what I feel right here. The separation, the time apart. It's weird because it's like there's beauty in it. Yet I know some of you have had such a hard time. Yet it's almost like a tragic beauty, like a beautiful tragedy. What am I saying? I don't want to say tragic like someone passed. I mean, the sadness, the figuring out, all of that meant to be. Could we have calmed it down? Yes. Yes, we always have that ability. How? Well, we gotta look right in that mirror. We have to stop covering up our mirrors. We have to see what's right in front of us, deal with it. We can't deflect it. This is how things move. If you deflect, it'll come back in a different way, in a different learning circumstance. It'll come back. So let's just face it. Look at that mirror head on. This is how we get things to move. This is when it becomes part of divine timing. So although we don't have ultimate control, in a way we do. Okay? That was channeled. I don't even know. Okay. It's like the masculine has gone from the caterpillar and now turning into the butterfly. That's probably the best scenario I can think of. Getting ready to turn into the butterfly. I have the devil, card of Capricorn, and I have the Prince of Wands. This is on the feminine. Wow. If I just merely look at the cards, the first thing I pick up, well, movement. I do feel the energy for a few of you, but I feel like this has been corrected. I feel like a few of you have given someone the wrong title, or someone giving you the wrong title. So I think that someone's my twin. And I feel bound by that decision that I have made. Okay, so is it I, as a human, made this decision. And because the decision has been made, I now am bound to it. You're not bound to it. But some of you feel this way. Okay, so the energy I'm picking up right now, it is about someone giving, I don't want to say false twin because I don't feel like this is someone else making you believe that. I feel like it's more about, and this could be reversed, remember that, thinking someone is a twin. They're not. I definitely feel like this already happened, or you're just now coming to the realization. Now, I have to say though, for a few of you that I'm picking up the energy right now, feeling that someone else was a twin, and then the twin walking in the door, walking into your life in some fashion, something was stirred within you. Wait a minute. You're feeling the energy of this other person. Yet here I am bound over here. This is part of that mirror process. And the energy of why, like why do it, why would I? A soulmate's one thing, because we do have many soulmates, and they come in all different forms. Twin flame is one. For some of us, we need to be more careful. If you're not sure, just don't give them that title until you know. Okay, And as I'm saying all that, I feel like who I'm speaking to, you're already aware of that. And I feel like what your question should be is what within me, why did I believe that? What was within the energy? Or was it even within the energy? Well, those are the kind of questions I feel like that's what the mirror holds for you. None of this is scary. And I kind of feel like, the universe is much more complex than this, but I feel like to simplify it, what the energy is speaking of is if I put my whole belief in someone else being that one and only twin for eternity, right? And I put all this energy into this other person being that. Am I then telling the universe, this is what I want? When in fact, I want my twin. And here's why I'm going on about this, because what you're doing is you're allowing someone else to get away with. Okay, well, you're allowing someone else to get away with a lot. When truth be told, you don't even need any of that. Who I'm speaking to, you are not happy. I feel like you know this in your heart. And truth be told, if I put all that energy into another person, Yet in my heart of hearts, I just don't even know if they're a twin. Am I then not, again, telling the universe that, okay, I'm satisfied here? Wow. Okay, I'm going to let that be because I feel like that's something that's very personal. It's between you and your mirror. I feel like it's something that many of us on this twin flame journey had to go through. What I do love, though, even with that energy, I love that the Queen of Swords is here because I feel like she's representing the truth, your truth. But knowing it, and because I feel like this Queen of Swords, whatever truth she's revealing, and I do feel like she's revealing it more to herself. It is the ultimate truth. I know what I know. I know what I know. I guess the reason why I'm still talking about this is I do feel it's almost like universal energy will be able to, it's like come in, it's like I'm seeing in my mind as, wind, like you see an animated cloud, right? But it feels like this wind coming in, kind of clearing out that energy, that heaviness, because it is heavy. Coming in and just cleaning house. Universal energy. Some of the feminines, that's what you're working on right now. This is the next step. Okay, let's keep going. We're going to pop over to the masculine, see what they have to say about all that. We have strength. Major arcana represents Leo. Number 8, August. And we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. I have to say, I feel like this Queen of Cups showing up for some of you. I feel for some of you, this is about a same-sex relationship. And, ooh, sorry, I just got a weird pain in my chest. Okay. Didn't feel like heart attack, anything like that. It was just weird. Maybe my heart was just expanding as we're sitting here. The masculine. Again, whether it's a male or female, for some of them, what they're looking at, and I do feel some masculines right here because I feel like for some of them, what they portray to the world and who they truly are on a soul level, what they portray and who they are different. I feel like someone portrays a very strong character. A little muscly, you know what I mean? Like a little can push their muscle around. Not extreme. What is extreme is what they show the world and who they are. This is a facade. And they're trying to cover up what I feel are emotions. For some of them, this could be the fact what they're trying to cover up. It could be someone who is, I feel like maybe bisexual. maybe. But it feels more like before someone comes out, like I portray that I'm straight, but that's not who I really am. So that type of energy I'm feeling. That is their mirror work. This energy I'm feeling, though, this is what's trying to transform. I literally have to get balls. There's someone out there, they're just so used to showing the world one side. And it's truly like, I don't know if anybody knows them on this deep level. I do feel you will. I also feel the energy of, again, someone wanting to come out to the world. But it is, I do feel they will. And listen, for some of you, this may be part of what you're helping them with, what you will be helping them with. For some, this is same sex, and you're literally going to help them come out. Others, this is, same scenario, different factors. And what I mean by that is, portraying that I'm this strong character, but then I go home and cry at night. That type of energy. It's all being worked out. It's like there's this big universal mirror and there's no escaping it. You want to hide from it, but you can't. You go into your blankets, there it is. You run in your closet, there it is. You jump in the ocean, there it is. So the universe is saying, why not just look at it, deal with it? Then that way you grow. Okay. What I want to remind everyone, and myself included, is that we open with the Fool card. And the Fool card is the ability to start something new without taking my past along. So if I get to the full energy, I've either had the opportunity to analyze, look at, understand my difficulties, my challenges, the things that I haven't faced yet. The Fool is about new energy, clear energy. I am not taking the sorrows of my past along. It doesn't mean they're gone. I have the memories, but I no longer have to feel the pain of them. This is a process. And again, that energy of there's people that will be left behind. I say people will be left behind. There's people that the masculine are walking away from. So they're being left behind from the masculine's life. They still have their own life. Because I feel like it's quite simple. There could be, for some of the masculine, it is the separation. It is the disconnection. And it can be difficult in the beginning, but I feel like what the energy is saying is get through these initial hiccups. And you won't be looking back at this period again with sorrow, pain. You'll understand the stepping stones. I feel like this is both sides right this moment. Understanding the stepping stones, that mirror, which then allows me to move forward. There won't be regret. For some of you right now, you're sitting within all that heavy energy, and it's because, well, there's different things. I also feel with the divine masculine energy, listen, I feel like these are the final purges. And when I say purges, I mean purges. So I mean if, let's say someone has an addiction. Let's say they have a drinking problem. Moving forward with the twin flame is not possible unless they look at that. Now, of course, they could come together, and then that becomes part of the feminine's problem. But I feel like the addiction, things like that, are not meant to come forward. They're not meant to then turn around and be the feminine's problem, or vice versa. These are personal issues that, and we all have our own thing. I can only do it if I so choose. Okay, so we have that energy of also purging addictions. And I'm saying drinking, but it can be anything. It's anything that's holding them down, stopping them from living their full expansion. So some are going through quite the trip. And this isn't just for the masculine. This is both. Both had to take this part of the journey. It's just that it feels like more feminine or further along. You know, feminine, more emotional creature. Yet, because we have more emotions, we have to deal with them, right? To a point. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the feminine. We have the Princess of Cups. I kind of love that. When I see the Princess of Cups, especially in this deck, I always think it's an unexpected offer. It's an unexpected proposal, an unexpected phone call, text, something that seems to come in quickly. And boy, by the way, she is sitting right below this Queen of Swords, so this could certainly be some form of communication. I feel like it's welcomed. And listen, we have to be in a place also where we're not judging each other, right? I can't judge you for your path. I can't judge you for how long it takes you on your path, the decisions you make. That is your path. That is your energy. That is your life. I cannot judge that. I have no right to judge that. I can't say that my way is the right way and your way is the wrong way. That was your personal experience. Now, I'm saying this because I feel like this is something we have to keep in mind as these energies start to emerge. You don't want to allow yourself to be in any kind of a judgmental attitude or energy. It doesn't mean you don't have opinions, right? But I feel like if I'm in a judgmental energy, then I am not quite ready. I'm just not quite ready. Doesn't mean I won't be, right? But that, again, something I need to look at. Boy, we have a mixed bag here, right? Because I feel the joy of twins emerging. I feel that. I know they're coming together. I know that. And I know there's great purpose. This isn't just about a love story. It's about a love story for the universe. This isn't about, oh, I got so lucky I ended up with the love of my life. No, this is, oh, I got so lucky I have the love of my life, but now we have great purpose. And listen, isn't the road less traveled the best? If we didn't have the hardships you've had, would you have had the growth that you had? It's all within that mirror. Okay. We have the Hermit, card of Virgo. This is a card about seeking spirituality. Seeking spirituality to help me along my soul's path. This is about a period of time where I'm learning how to trust my intuition. My intuition is my higher self, higher guidance. Learning to trust that changes your life. I do feel like going back a little bit to those who I feel like you just recently are figuring out, again, the wrong person has a title. Whether you gave it to them or they gave it to themselves, I don't know if that matters. But again, with the Hermit here, it's reflection on that. But I want to remind you, with the Hermit, I go in as a student. I emerge as the master. So I receive the guidance that I'm looking for. There is no amount of time that's right or wrong to be in the Hermit. It's personal. It's when you're ready. The guidance is definitely given here. And I know that it's given because once it's given, it seems then that there's action. I just want to say, I don't know why I'm feeling this all of a sudden, but like for divine feminines, it's like, I don't want this to be black and white, right? Male, female, because it's not about that. And the reason I'm saying this is because divine feminine, it's like, okay, well, this work has been done, though it's not complete. It's far from complete. And it never is complete. But what I'm saying is I don't want everyone to think like, okay, it's the feminine waiting for the masculine. No. It's both. And that's why we can't always, there are times that I am within masculine energy. It's just how I'm built, I'm not a girly girl, although I enjoy that too. But I sit more here. Okay, so keep that in mind. I love that the Hermit came out. I love the Hermit because I know what the Hermit offers. The lessons that you learn, tremendous spiritual growth. This spiritual growth helps you in your 3D world. It is soul expansion. And for some of you, I feel like this energy is even about manifesting. We're manifesting quickly. Our energy has changed, so we are manifesting quickly. Synchronicities are picking up greatly. Don't believe in one and not believe in the other, right? So this is talking about if you believe in spirituality and you believe in the new energy ways, Gaia and all that, well then put your trust in what your heart intuitively knows. Bottom line is, what is this trying to teach us? To love unconditionally. Okay, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to do final clarification. I'm not going to separate. Actually, I think I'm going to use a different deck because I want all the cards to be available. Let's use the Cosmic Tarot. And what I'm going to do is I'm asking for final clarification. I know this reading's not quite as long as my other ones, but I do want you to know that I am back to doing, I hope to be doing special little readings along with the monthlies. I really miss doing the twin flame. The he said, she said. Yeah, we're going to pick them all back up again. But the twin flame, I felt pulled to do this today, so there's someone out there who needs to hear this, probably more than one. Yeah. Eight of Wands. Hello, spiritual downloads. Hello, what I put out, coming back. Fast movement. Okay, let's get some more out there. Final clarification. I feel for some of you, I don't know where this is coming from, but I feel like this Eight of Wands is referring to your dreams, spiritual downloads through your dreams. And listen, those who are getting spiritual downloads through your dreams, I feel like you're evolving also. And what I mean by this, I feel like right now I'm receiving these as I sleep. Yet, you're either waking up and you're saying to yourself, okay, that was a weird dream. There must be a meaning behind it. Or you're waking up with a lot of clarity over what you just dreamed. Here's the point. As I feel like the more negative energy you're able to let go of the 3D, because I feel like these are things I don't need to hang on to anymore. I don't have to hang on from sadness that happened 20 years ago. I gotta let it go. But the more I'm able to do that, I feel like you're moving from your dream state into your awakened state, and still receiving these downloads. They can be forms of just epiphanies that come out of nowhere, like, whoa, where'd that idea come from? They can be about anything also, because I just heard it's not just love, it's business, it's everything. Because as you evolve in your whole world, so does this twin flame experience. Well, it feels good. It feels like what's being said is, yeah, you're going to have this love, but you can have more than that. And, okay, I don't know where this is coming from, but I feel like also what it's talking about is even financially. I feel like when this energy comes together, for some, it's like there's a financial burden is lifted because it's meant to be, because your energy is being called elsewhere. So something you're focusing a lot on, not a lot, but someone's focusing on like, well, your finances just aren't great, which is a lot of us. But the improvement naturally. Wow. Okay. All right. Final clarification. I'm getting August. This is the eight of Wands, so the 8 could be reminding me about August, but I was feeling August earlier too. So I don't know, maybe for some of you, something with August, maybe that was your keyword. We have the Star, card of Aquarius, beautiful card of manifesting. What I think about, I bring about. Let me say that again. What I think about, I bring about. This is certainly the energy of epiphanies coming to you left and right, like they're being shot down at you. One epiphany, another epiphany. Take these epiphanies. If you're getting a lot of epiphanies and you're forgetting some things, this is a time period. probably going into, I would say, December, perhaps into January 2019. A lot of ideas, a lot of epiphanies. It doesn't all have to be about business. It can be about, epiphanies about changing a route, a routine, um, epiphany to take a different road, go to a different store than normal, switching something up. Pay attention to all this right now. Um, you know, this reading could also, you don't have to even met your twin flame, because what I feel here, it's almost like the universe pointing you in the right direction. Wow. Pay attention. Now, let's just say till January 1st, the end of 2018. Pay attention. And I don't feel this is just, like hooking twin flames up. Like I've used this scenario before. If I go to Starbucks all the time, and Dunkin' Donuts is across the street, but I don't go there. And then one day I'm pushed. I feel this urge to go to Dunkin' Donuts. Hey, I walk in and just so happen to meet the love of my life. Just so happen to walk in and meet, cross a conversation where they're talking about a business idea, and it just so happens to be down my lane. This is how the universe works. And it's beautiful. Follow those epiphanies. Everyone, everyone. I don't feel like this is just for, I feel like if you're watching this video, follow your epiphanies. And you know what? I feel like I should have done the full moon video, but we just had the full moon, right? Yesterday or the day before. And I feel like what this is saying is right after that full moon. So the energy is opening up right now. It's opening up right now. Epiphanies are coming right now. And they will continue. And this is not about getting one epiphany and, okay, your turn's done. No. This is all of us receiving epiphany after epiphany. There's a great purpose here. But listen, we just so happen to be the happy benefiters. Okay. Whoa. I had the King of Pentacles, and I had a card fly, and that is your first card that flew in this reading. It doesn't happen very often. I have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands to me is mirroring energy, right? I'm mirroring someone else's energy. Someone else is mirroring my, well, we're mirroring each other's energy. It can be a defensive type of energy. It can be competition. Not the kind of competition like competition till death. No. This is competition. I feel like the King of Pentacles has popped out representing the divine masculine. And yes, it's an earth sign, but don't let that fool you. Okay? I mean, what I mean by that, it can be earth. But I feel like it's the King of Pentacles representing stability. Energy I can count on. Strength within my foundation, but on all accounts. Not just about my financial situation improving. It's everything. I feel like for some of you, because, I am feeling this energy of well, mirroring energy. And this is really great because, we open this part of the reading up talking about these spiritual downloads, epiphanies, coming in many different forms, right? Some coming in dream form. And this is also about, I know this is about love. This reading is about love. But this reading is really about your own stability, feeling strong within, being one's authentic self. I can't hide behind any mask when it comes to twin flame. I need to be me. Like I need to be me right from the get-go. Well, that is where you ultimately end up. I'm going to take a card on each block here. I know this may not help at all, but I feel like I need to say to as many who will listen, try not to worry about this. Try not to worry about the process. If you can, just allow what will be to be. Focus on you, looking in the mirror, right? But not just looking in the mirror. This isn't just about looking at everything I need to improve within myself. This is also about, it feels like tremendous growth, but it feels like spiritually, but also within your 3D world. For some of you, this could certainly be the energy of finances changing, something coming your way to help you with that, because you're going to have bigger fishes to fry. Truthfully, when this relationships come together, there's just higher purpose. So some of the minute things that we deal with right now, being I don't want to say fixed, rectified to help you with this new part of the journey. I have the 3 of Cups. Beautiful. I know there's other readers saying about twins coming together. And they're giving a date out past March. I have to say, and listen, for those groups, for those who follow, that may be exactly when it is. What I'm feeling is major shifts between right now, and January 1st. Wow, that's not even that long, guys. Right? Because this is the end of October. If you have mirror work to do, get busy, because honestly, it's not that far. I see the joy, the coming together. And I also feel, I don't know how to say this other than someone having a dream, again, about feeling someone else as my twin flame. Here I'm feeling like you have slowly, that idea is slowly dying away. Now, I feel like I'm talking to you. You had a dream about this. So in some way, it being revealed. But it feels spiritually. And it feels like I have this epiphany, dream, and after that, I can pretend that that didn't happen. But knowing within you, here's the thing. Again, those who, and I don't want to say false twin because I don't even know what that means. A false twin. I mean, I know what it means. Don't get me wrong. But there's certain terminology. We just need to get rid of it. This is, I'm going to leave it there because you know who you are. But it's these realizations are making it hard to keep the same idea about someone. The universe is pushing you in the right direction. Okay. All right. Any final cards? Final clarification. Twin flame. Final clarification. Somebody told me to say Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. Excuse me. Hangman. Whoa. Sorry, I had my phone on. I feel like this is talking right now about, especially for final clarification, the hangman. This can be where there is no movement, right? But even when there's no movement, there's still purpose. I feel like for some of you, this non-movement was to correct a path, was to help you see again. And you didn't. For some of you, this is not even about giving someone a title. This is really about weaning out certain energy. All of us. It is like finding our way. I just want to look at that hangman a little deeper. I want to know a little bit more. I have to say what I'm feeling is very relaxed, though. Very relaxed type of energy. Meditating. I feel like this is talking about while I am in limbo, or I don't want to say the word waiting, because even if I'm waiting, I'm still moving. Look at that, Wheel of Fortune. Card of Destiny. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be, will be. Wow, that's such an old song. I'm not even that old. Feels destiny. That's way too many. I feel like for some of you, this is about, I do feel for some of you, there is a little fear. Like you have fear moving forward. How do I say this other than if you can truly see yourself as a spiritual creature, right? there's just a lot of static that gets in the way. I really feel this reading is also talking about us eliminating the crap and whatever that means to you. And I don't mean crap as in people, I mean crap as in all these little things all over the place that I worry about, that I put my energy towards. I need a quick look at that. What's the worst case scenario? What happens if I get the worst case scenario? It's like we're overthinking. We're putting too much stock into things that don't matter. I do feel like though, this is what a lot of us are growing into. So we're learning. We're learning. That's what we're learning, how to get rid of the crap. Okay. Because listen, look at that. The Princess of Cups popped back out again. We are like a garden, and the weeds are being plucked so that we can blossom to our fullest potential. Right now, many of us are in our own gardens with weeds. It feels like the universe wants to start plucking those weeds, but we need to help. Communication coming in. One way or the other, whether you're the one who is going to reach out and communicate, communication is coming in. I do feel like 3D in this world. You know, I feel like I'm here for guidance on how to get through the 3D using spirituality. You know, I know there's a lot of readers who are here more talking about like New Earth and what have you. I get all that, but I feel like my guidance, even with that information, is more about how to help. And I take my own guidance. Well, I need to take it more, because trust me, there's nothing perfect about me. I'm literally reading the energy, but I know that I also have to follow it. What was my point? Oh, I just feel like that's my purpose, is to help deal with these 3D elements to move us into a much easy, lighter type of energy. Listen, bottom line is, this is about destiny. What is meant to be will be. I can't think it away. So just how I said earlier, what I think about, I bring about. But on the other side of that, because I know some of you are on the other side of that, where there's still fear attached to a twin flame experience in some way. I don't want you to worry that, you know, if my thoughts are of nervousness, fear, what have you, that I'm going to push this whole experience away. That will never happen, though I understand it. It's like you have a belief within yourself first. This is destiny, guys. It's me right now. And listen, this has been going on for a while. The coming together. You know, we've been building and building for this, and it's happening. I know it. I know it just from my subscribers and the messages of people coming together. But this is accelerating. I think you just need to settle into it. Keep moving on your particular journey. Keep moving forward. Keep having that personal growth. You know, again, this is not about waiting for anyone. As you continue to grow and expand, which it shows me very clearly, you will be, and the universe will help, the epiphanies, the downloads. This is just adding to the tremendous growth. Follow that. And you know what I always say, what is meant to be will catch up to you. It's not about you waiting. It's about you moving. And then allow the energy to catch up to you. And I'm going to leave it there. It's just meant to be. I love you guys so much. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.